There is a truth that many parents do not want to hear, but if you are brave enough to listen to it until the end, it may completely change the way you raise your child. One day your child will grow up. There will be a very late night when no one is beside them anymore, no parents, no teachers, no one to ask what to do. The first night they are rejected. The first night their heart rejected, or simply a moment when they look into the mirror and feel they are not done. Will it inside good enough? And in that exact moment, a voice will appear. It will definitely appear. The real question is not whether that voice will appear. It will definitely good enough. Will it whisper, "I am bad. I always mess everything up. I am never good enough." Or will it gently say, "Okay." That voice often does not sound like the child. It sounds like you. The way you speak to your child today will become the way your child speaks to themselves tomorrow, and many parents do not realize this. They think the biggest wounds in their child's life will come from the outside world, friends, strangers, society, competition. But sometimes the child's self-worth begin inside their own home. Not from physical punishment, not from obvious abandonment, but from very normal sentences. Sentences spoken in tired moments, in sentences. Words that adults forget with minutes, in stress, in anger. Because children do not hear words the way adults do not. Children do not hear words the way adults do. Adults hear sentences. Children hear emotional meaning behind sentences. This is who I am. That is why some sentences take 2 seconds to say, but 20 years to heal. The first sentence. That is why some sentences take 2 seconds to say, but 20 again. To a certain that push. A push, a comparison meant to encourage improvement. Many parents say it with good intention. It is edetsid. They think, if the child sees someone better, they will try harder. But what the child feels is completely different. A grade B. Not bad, but not excellence. Holding a math test, there is a little nervousness in her either. There is a little nervousness in her eyes. Maybe she tried very hard. Maybe she stayed up late studying. But the first thing she hears is your brother used to get A grades personal worth. She is not thinking no longer just a test. It becomes a measurement of personal worth. She begins to feel that love might also be something to about love, that she is only worthy of pride when she is as good as someone else. That's today still live inside as good as someone else. This is adults today still live inside constant comparison. They never feel enough because deep inside there is always a voice in being, something good, up to a certain point. But what children truly need has never been to become a copy of someone else. What they need is to be seen walking into the house in their own journey instead of saying, "Why are you not like your brother, Sop? Why not that brother?" Try saying, "I see how much effort you put at message." Just one sentence, but it carries a completely different message. You do not need to be someone else to be valued. Next sentence, "You are lazy and visible," but once they are placed in a child's mind, they can stay for years lazy. Slow, stubborn, useless adults think they are criticizing behavior, but children interpret it as identity. Your son is lying on the sofa. His room is messy. You come home tired, headaches, frustrated. Say, "You are so lazy," adds. It sounds simple, but in the child's mind, it is not stirred. The difference seems small, but that's consequent as they are. The constant speaks child, because people act according to they believe they are, will slowly behave that obedient. A child who believes they are lazy will slowly behave disdonant. The do not labels are dangerous. They do not only describe, they define instead of labeling the child. Describe the behavior. "I see the room is still not cleaned. Shall we break it into smaller steps?" One says, "You are the problem." The other says, "There is a problem and you can solve it." Next sentence, "Stop crying." This is probably the sentence that teaches to children to suppress emotions the earliest. A dropped ice cream. Adults see it as small, but for a 5-year-old, it can feel like the biggest disaster of the day. The child cries. You say there is nothing to cry about. What the child hears is not comfort. Feelings do not matter, and slowly, the child learns to stay quiet, to stop sharing, to stop reaching out. Some children grow up extremely well-behaved. They do not cause trouble. Adults call this maturity, but sometimes it is not maturity. It is frozen emotion. What children need is not maturity. They do not confusion. Need ushend. Losing ice cream must feel disappointing. That is all. No need to fix again. There's no need to fix the feeling, no need to shut down tears. Quickly, when emotions are, nervous system calms down much faster. Next sentence, you will never be able to do it. There are sentences that take seconds to say, but stay in the mind for decades, a math exercise. The child keeps making mistakes. You lose, this continues. You will never be good at it from that moment. Learning is no longer exploration. It becomes fear of mistakes, fear of failure, fear of judgment. When a child believes ability is fixed, they stop trying, not because they are lazy, but because failure hurts too much. So they would rather give up than try again. But if you replace that sentence with math is difficult, but mistakes mean your brain is learning something new. Everything changes because the child begins to understand something. Because the child begins to understand incapable important. Mistakes do not mean. I am in the process of growing sentence. I am in the process Silence said. Some sentences make children stop asking questions immediately. But silence is not. If this continues then stas always obedience. Sometimes it is the moment curiosity begins to die. The child asks, why do I have to eat vegetables? Why do I have to sleep early? Why can I not watch 5 more minutes? After a long, exhausting day, many parents just sentence appears. Effective because I said so, because short, fast, effective, sassid. But the cost is stinned, do not only seed rules, they need understanding behind rules. When a child understands, they learn how to think. Not just how to obey, and that is the final thing that will shape the voice inside them. Because after everything, children will grow up, leave home, step into the world, and they were babies, be a voice that appears inside their mind. And that voice, way you spoke to carry sound will very likely carry your sound, the way you reacted. When they were small, when they were sad, the way you responded when they were sad, the way you looked at them when they were sad, when they were not perfect, and in those moments, that voice can either become a source of strength or a source of pain. It can either lift them up or break them down from within. This is why parenting is not only about teaching children what is right or wrong. It is about shaping the rest of their lives, because one day you will not be there to answer their questions, to guide every decision, but your voice will still be there inside their head. So if there is one thing to take from all of this, it is not perfection. It is awareness that every word matters. Every reaction matters. Every small moment becomes a little softer. And if you slow down a little, speak a little, listen a little more, react a little less, and understand a little deeper, because what your child will carry into adulthood is not what you taught them in big lessons. It is what they felt from you every single day. And one day, when they are standing they are shaping the inner dialogue, a world that feels heavy when they feel rejected, when they feel lost, when they feel not enough, the voice that helps them stand back up will very likely be your voice, the one you gave them today. So tonight, before your child goes to sleep, maybe the most important thing is not another lesson, but your presence, your eyes, your warmth, and a simple reminder that they are loved, not because they are perfect, but because they are yours. And sometimes that is enough to shape a life.